So nice to see you. Actually, I've been really excited about this conversation, specifically because of the time of the year, January. Everyone's talking about manifestation, their goals, their commitments, how they want to improve. So, this conversation around manifestation and spirituality has always intrigued. Um, I've always been interested. And while I was reflecting how manifestation is connected with spirituality, because it's working for so many people, you see Ayurveda, you see yoga, and all of those have their foundation within our scriptures. So I was just reflecting how manifestation definitely also has foundation in our scriptures. And I found some really wonderful verses that I want to share with you today.
Oh, I'm
But
excited.
yeah, it's really the whole fact that the way our whole life is designed as spiritual practitioners is we're trying to manifest something or the other, right from our daily morning prayers. When we start with the Guru Ashtakam, we're manifesting, we're asking. When we're doing a Tulsi Arti during the morning hours, we're saying Radha Krishna, Seva Pao,
Yeah.
A Abhilashi. Abhilashi is nothing but desire.
Yeah.
And Prabhupada said that if you um, every single day attend the morning program, you literally manifest, a spiritual life, a really desired spiritual life. So I'm wondering what your thoughts are around that, but it really, really intrigues me to see how manifestation and spirituality are connected so deeply.
Yeah, I think I totally agree with you. It's an interest, it's a topic that's piqued my interest as well. And not just in secular circles, like we hear about manifestation so much in the secular circles, but also in spiritual realm as well. And today I want to discuss with you to see how our roots are and how we can see manifestation from the lens of a very spiritual perspective. But before that, I just wanted to discuss like how New Year resolutions can be. So what manifestation is, what it means to me. So when you said desire, so it's not a wishful thinking, not something that, oh, I just sit and think about something and then it'll manifest. So manifestation isn't about wishful thinking, it's about intentionality and action. And so because it's the starting of this year, I started writing down my goals and the resolutions, New Year resolutions. I tend to run away from this word New Year resolution, but I just call it goals because usually people start with resolutions and then they fail by the end of January or February. They don't meet with the resolutions, and but but
I
New
you-
Year,
yeah,
sorry,
you're mentioning this really funny thing, and I remembered a joke. It's like, the maximum sign-ups for gyms or any fitness centers happens on the 1st of January.
that's
And
true.
by the 30th of January, there's a maximum, uh,
Cancellations and yeah, sure.
cancellations or fallouts, or, same thing with diet plans, because
Oh yeah,
consistency is
yeah.
what you're emphasizing on. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And I think the reason behind is our strong belief. So when I am sitting down to write my goals, it's like a 3 or 4 step process. First, I really sit and think about what is my intent. So I do intent setting where I identify and state the desire. So you have to be very clear of what you're wishing for first. What I want. It cannot be a very rough picture. It has to be very clear. I want to be 10 kgs slimmer than who I am. I want to be richer with whatever. I'm just giving you very
Yeah.
obscure,
Practical
yeah,
examples.
but very practical, yeah. So intent has to be really clear, stated down. You can write it down in one word or one sentence. It's a very key step in manifestation. Then second is you have to believe in the possibility. So it's for resolutions to be effective, you have to believe in them, that yes, there is, I can achieve this in the next 1 year, or I can achieve this in the next 6 months. And that is, I think that's very crucial step in bringing your desires to reality. And then you align your actions to whatever you have stated. Manifestation is not just thinking about positively. Well, while there are people or there are thoughts around this that you just sit and think positively and it will manifest, but I think you have to take actions. You're required to take aligned actions around your goals, around your intent that you set. And then you repeat and revisit your goals. You visualize your the fitter you, the richer you, whatever it is, whatever your goals are. Yeah, I think New Year resolutions at this time of the year really are a very, very good example of manifestation.
That's beautiful. I think the three things that I picked up from what you said is clarity, your emphasis on knowing exactly what you want.
Mm-hmm.
You're not confused, you have clarity. And the second step is what you mentioned is consistency.
Yeah.
When you're saying consistency, you're saying that you're doing this regularly, not only manifesting it by meditating, but taking steps. And the third step that
Action.
you mentioned is action related.
Yeah.
So you're taking, even if it's baby steps,
Yes.
several times. I've, I don't remember exactly who's mentioned this, but I've heard in several podcasts that talk about, self improvement and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
That if you are consistent,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's 20 minutes every single day in any activity,
Mm-hmm.
if you perform any activity every single day for 20 minutes, you will be better than 95% of people trying to do the same thing.
Oh, wow.
I mean, how much power is there in consistency?
So, wow,
You know,
consistency is the key.
consistency is the key, absolutely, because it takes, and it makes me think, because that's maintenance work. It
Mm-hmm.
takes a lot of goodness to be able to maintain something over an extended period of time. And that's why
Yes.
when we talk about in our scriptures, in the Puranas, we say, that Lord Brahma is responsible for the creation,
Mm-hmm.
right? It takes a lot
Mm-hmm.
of passion, it's
Mm-hmm.
passionate activity. And it's very easy to get something started,
Mm-hmm.
actually easier. And then Lord Shiva is responsible for the destruction. To bring something to the ground is easier than creating it. But the hardest thing, which is maintaining it, is the most difficult thing where Lord Vishnu takes up, because it requires immense amount of mode of goodness, to actually maintain something like that, to
And
maintain
we can
consistent.
take an example of relationship actually, just to understand this, that the thing that you said, it's very easy to create a relationship. To destroy a relationship is
It's
sometimes
easier.
easiest, but to maintain is the hardest, that we all can relate to. Be it
Absolutely.
any relationship.
Absolutely. That is so accurate.
But one
Bringing
thing I
back,
got, sorry, go ahead.
to that point where you're mentioning clarity,
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking maybe we can talk a bit about having clarity of what we want.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, you know, initially it's like, I don't even know what I really want. And sometimes when we're not convinced, like if you're mentioning, just taking the example that you said, I want to be 10 kgs thinner. I have a specific goal that I want to be 10 kgs, very clear. I
Mm-hmm.
want to be 10 kgs thinner. What am I going to do? I have to have a plan of action worked out, other
Mm-hmm.
than just manifesting. Okay, yes, I'm going to manifest that I'm going to be 10 kgs thinner, but there has to be a plan of action that goes with it. And then I need to make steps or take steps towards that.
Mm-hmm.
And a
Yes.
classic example of that in our scriptures is Dhruva Maharaj, you know,
Yeah.
how he was put in a situation which he didn't like. I
Yes.
am 20 kgs overweight. I don't like the situation.
Yes.
Yeah. He said he wants to change the situation. So he's finding someone that you tell me, how do I change the situation? And at that time, Narad Muni comes to him and he says, you know what, you're too young. Don't try to change it. Just accept your body as just accept just
Whatever
live
you
with your weight and, be more accepting of your weight. That's also a philosophy. It's
That's
bona
true.
fide. Like
Yes.
people, um, I can just take that route and say that, okay, I'm comfortable in my skin. I'm comfortable with my weight. I'm comfortable because I'm so confident. I'm
Mm-hmm.
comfortable around that. You
Mm-hmm.
can take that route.
Mm-hmm.
But Dhruva Maharaj at that point was like, you know what? I'm not comfortable being a secondary option. I'm not comfortable with being 20 kgs overweight. I'm
Yes.
not comfortable with that. And I want to change that. What do I need to? So when Narad Muni is telling him, you know what, you're young, just be comfortable, just go back home. And this is just a one time thing with your father, and things will change.
And he was testing him, so that's the test for clarity there.
Yeah, well, it is a test for clarity. And not only clarity, also the determination, because it's going
Yeah.
to be a difficult path
Mm-hmm.
down the road.
Yeah.
It's not going to be easy. Change is never easy.
Yes.
So there's the other day I was speaking with Gaurang Prabhu, and he mentioned to me that there is no possibility of something grand
Mm-hmm.
without having to be in the grind. So till you're
Good one.
literally like going in the grind, don't even expect to have something grand.
Mm-hmm.
If your goal is that substantial, then you're
Mm-hmm.
going to, what Dhruva Maharaj was asking for a kingdom
Yeah.
bigger than
Then
his
it's
great
fun.
grandfather.
Yeah. Yes.
So he wanted something bigger than Brahma. Now, Brahma is the creator,
Of this
but
universe. Yeah.
exactly.
And he
And he
wanted
was,
much bigger than that. So
he
yeah.
wanted a kingdom bigger than Lord Brahma, which means that a separate something had to be created for him. How unrealistic was his goal?
Yes. Yeah. He was
You know?
deeply hurt, but very determined to even think of that goal. Yeah.
Yes, sometimes. So he was convinced in his mind and heart that I can achieve that goal.
Yes.
I can
Yes.
absolutely achieve that goal. And Narada Muni, if you're willing to help me achieve that goal, go ahead and give me all the advice you can. And I'm here like a sponge. But if
Yes.
you're not willing to help me with the goal, don't try to change my mind because I'm not going to change my mind.
Yeah. And he was just 5 year old. So
Yeah. That's a classic example of clarity,
hmm.
at the same time, determination. And he
Yeah.
was so convinced that it's not a goal that is unachievable, and it's not an unrealistic goal. Sometimes when we're making our goals, we think, you know what, can I even achieve this? We ourselves have so much doubt.
Doubt. Yeah.
Yeah, we ourselves like, how is this even going to work out? Like this 5-year-old little kid was completely convinced that I can achieve a kingdom greater than my great grandfather, who's Lord Brahma, creator of this whole universe, or, I can have something greater than him. And he didn't think that was an unrealistic goal.
Not at all. Yeah.
Exactly. So much emphasis on clarity. But then what happens there? This is where the manifestation really comes into play.
True.
You know,
He had his clear goal stated and then he believed in the possibility. So those two steps sometimes are missing in us, and that's why we are not able to take the actions 100%, and that's why we don't see the results. We think, oh, I wished for a 10 kg to losing 10 pounds or 10 kgs, and then we're like, oh, maybe I wasn't realistic. We're 1 month, 2 months into our resolution, and we're like, oh, we haven't even lost even half a pound. So we try to shake, and then yes, but he wasn't. He had
and
unwavering focus.
another beautiful thing that you brought out here is that, um, because he didn't see a result, he didn't give up.
Hmm. True.
Okay.
Yeah.
He intensified
Yeah.
the the process of what he was doing. Of
Yes.
course, he was doing austerities.
Yes.
So when he started to
Intensity.
perform austerity, it was simple,
Mm-hmm.
simpler austerity. He was eating
Yeah.
regular. But when he was not seeing result, he intensified his practice. He didn't give it up. He didn't
True.
say, you know what, I tried for a month and it didn't work. I'm just not meant for it, or
Yeah, I don't
it's not
want a
working.
kingdom. Yeah. I better go back.
Manifestation is not working. It just doesn't work for me or anything like that. But what he decided to do is intensify the practice, which is just mind blowing.
Double up his efforts. So, yeah.
Yeah. And with more clarity and more determination.
True.
And
True.
what's most beautiful about that is that, Krishna says so many times in Bhagavad Gita, and we've heard it, several motivational speakers will say that too, that God helps those who help themselves,
Yeah. That's the
right?
famous one. Yeah.
So, what happens is that not only was he manifesting that dream, but the process of manifestation is that the right kind of people also come into your life
Hmm.
that would help you towards the goal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He attracted the right kind of teachers. He attracted Narada Muni. He attracted the right kind of environment. And as he progressed, got the right kind of intelligence
Mm-hmm.
of what to do next.
The forbearance to even execute the austerities that he set out for. So, yeah.
Yeah, which is phenomenal because he was able to really intensify. But what he really manifested is the right support system.
Mm-hmm. Situations in his life. Yeah.
Correct. The right support system, the situations, because of his sincerity.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
just recently, someone had posted on our WhatsApp group
Mm-hmm.
a conversation of Chaitanya Charan Prabhu with, I think it was on Namras's podcast,
Okay.
where he was mentioning that he was having a conversation with Radhanath Swami Maharaj.
Mm-hmm.
And did you hear that?
With Chetan Chan Prabhu, yes, I did. I loved that
I
episode.
thought that
Very
was phenomenal
Very nice.
because, yeah, Chaitanya
I
Charan
even
Prabhu's
told him that this is your best part, and this is one of the best episodes. It was very nice.
I didn't watch the whole episode, but I
Mhm.
really, yeah, I really liked the point that Radhanath Maharaj mentioned to him. So he went to Radhanath Swami and he said that, many a times when I'm traveling all over the world preaching, many devotees come to me, and many spiritual practitioners come to me and very honestly tell me that your lectures are very technical.
Yeah,
And
analytical.
I do agree, but he said, I don't try to be technical. That's just who I am. And then he mentioned on a contrast with Gaur Gopal Prabhu, who's very humorous in his presentation and very attractive to, um, a different kind of audience that like humor.
Yeah.
So he was mentioning, so Radhanath Swami Maharaj said that I'm neither technical nor am I humorous. Right? But when I speak, I'm able to connect with people
Yeah.
because somehow, by the grace of the Lord, I've developed true concern
Hmm.
for people.
Hmm.
So, the point I'm trying to make here is that when this is sincerity in performing whatever we're doing. So,
Yes.
when we're really, really sincerely trying to perform something with consistency, with trying to be willing to be in the grind, um, and the harder the goal, the more in the grind we're going to be. If we're
True.
convinced that I'm just going to be consistent no matter what it takes, then Krishna actually will send the right kind of help, the
Mhm.
right kind of support system, the right kind of situation, the right kind of skill set, and the right kind of people to help us achieve our goal.
Yes. Yes. I totally agree, and I'm glad you brought out that what Radhanath Maharaj said, because one part of manifestation can be, yes, we are manifesting our material goals or personal goals, but that's not what manifestation is. I feel manifestation has its root, and we will talk more, but has its root from our scriptures, from Srimad Bhagavatam, which is like, the summum bonum of all the Vedas. um, but the thing that he mentioned, that I am able to connect to the audience. So I think one of the other insight that I just occurred to me is, when our desires are rooted in welfare of others, that is when God or Krishna facilitates the whole manifestation process as well. Like, we cannot be all the time just thinking about me, wealth, my career, my relationship, me, mine. If we are, slowly and gradually connecting to our spiritual self, we will start we will start thinking about others as well, for the purpose, for higher purpose, for community. And Dhruv Maharaj also set out on this very passionate goal, that I want to have this kingdom greater than my grandfather. But like you were mentioning, he was very austere. He set out on he was very determined, unwavering focus. He was, I think, meditating for years. And then towards the end, Lord Vishnu, he appeared in front of him. And just after he appeared, he realized, Dhruva Maharaj realized the futility of his asking for all those material desires. He said, I don't know why I did all this just for getting a kingdom, when I can just see the Lord by surrendering. So I really feel that manifestation got distorted. It started out its root from spirituality and all our scriptures, and then it got reinterpreted and maybe simplified a little bit. And people nowadays think it's just for our material profit and personal gains, but it's for our spiritual progress as well, that we surrender, like Dhruv Maharaj surrendered to Lord Vishnu when he came. And also to think for a higher purpose, that why am I here? Not all my desires will get fulfilled. So I really like that example of Dhruv Maharaj.
Yeah. I find it really fascinating because it's a true example of manifestation.
Yeah.
Because not only because he was able to achieve what he wanted, but he
Yeah.
was also purified from that desire.
Yeah. It
You know,
transformed him. Yeah.
right. I was reading an article on manifestation which mentioned that, you manifest something,
Mhm.
you put it out in the universe, you manifest something, but when you are, and then you go around taking steps towards achieving it. But at the same time, if you keep hankering for it,
Hmm.
okay, if you continue to keep hankering for it, what does it mean? That it's you've not achieved it. So you're, subconsciously actually manifesting not achieving it.
Yeah, that's
It
true.
is. It's like it's quite a. It's like
Contrary. Yeah.
yeah, really. So it's you manifest it, but then surrender it.
Hmm. Yes.
Surrender it to the universe,
Yeah.
but at the same time, you're taking steps to achieve it. But
Hmm.
not with that, whenever that feeling of craving is there, that
Hmm.
means you're deficit. When you're
You don't want
really
to manifest
craving
that.
something, that
Yeah.
means it's away from you. That's why you're craving it.
Yeah. You don't
And
have it yet.
you don't have it. So
Hmm.
you're subconsciously manifesting not having it
Hmm.
by continuously craving for it. So once you decide what you're manifesting, which Dhruva Maharaj did, right? And then he goes through the austerity, he performs his karma to achieve what he's supposed to, and then the Lord appears. And when the Lord appears, at that point, he's at a stage in his life where he says, you know what? I don't really want this.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking this is just broken pieces because while the process of manifesting, he's been so purified. It's like he's actually achieved it. That's become his rightful claim.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In several places, Prabhupada says it's become his rightful claim.
Mm-hmm.
It's become his rightful claim because the hankering stopped. And exactly when the hankering stops, he's given it.
That's
He's
true.
given the whole kingdom. And he's also
He's
now
a supreme ruler, everything. Yeah.
perfect. Now that the hankering has stopped, he's able to rule with so much dignity. He's not attached, and
Hmm.
he's not, his mind is not saturated by this win. It's
That's
not
true.
about the win, it's
Yes.
about the growth.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
about the growth, which is phenomenal, which is what really manifestation is about.
I think we made a great point there. Dhruv Maharaj's pastime is like it has so many lessons, not just on manifestation, but so many. And maybe we'll be discussing Dhruv Maharaj's pastimes throughout. But this aspect of Dhruv Maharaj's pastime really made me reflect on one of the Srimad Bhagavatam verses. But before that, I wanted to appreciate you, Gayatri, because when I was starting about talking about New Year resolutions, I started about intent setting. And you just shared how you plan ahead. So for year 2025, you'll just for reading goals, I think we shared what our reading goals will be. And you were already in the planning process from October of 2024. And I wanted to read with someone, or at least read similarly to how you read as well. And you shared your reading goals. You had everything systematic on an Excel sheet. And October, November, December gave us or me a buffer as well to plan, really plan clearly, like what verses am I reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, what are the themes I'm covering. And then January 1st, I didn't have to calibrate myself. I was like, right on from January 1, I'm reading this. So I knew what I was reading. So yeah, I think thank you. I really learned that planning is not just done in the month of December or the last week of December. Nobody really plans anything in December. It's hard, especially because you're in the holiday phase. So I really like that. You're saying something.
Thank you. I was actually, that thought process came to me is when I started to take, I've tried to be a spiritual practitioner for an extended period of time, but that seriousness of really wanting to do it, sometimes it was just because you're in a group and you're with your friends and everybody's doing the same thing and you're all doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get a little older, when you in a certain phase of your life, you want to focus. You want to focus. And I was thinking that, I wanted, when I started to study architecture, there was a great planning phase. Like, after 10th, I'm going to take 2 years of science as my subject. And then I have to take physics, chemistry, and math. And then I have to give an entrance exam. And then I can give my architecture exam. And then
Mm-hmm.
I go into architecture school. And I was thinking, am I really serious about my spiritual life? Like, I've been, since 16, I've kind of in the process chanting, hearing lectures. If I'm really serious, then I really need to chalk out a plan of action of
Mm-hmm.
where I am, be honest with myself of where I am, and manifest where I want to be.
Yeah.
That when I'm manifesting that I really want to be a very strong spiritual practitioner, really self satisfied, uh, whatever one's thing is, how do I achieve that? And what are the steps I can take? And one of the steps for me was, how can I include spirituality in my practical life? I just don't want it to be a segment of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Wanted it to be a part of my life. And then at the same time, how do I achieve that is becoming more and more meditative on what exists in our scriptures. That's where scriptural reading came from.
Mm-hmm.
So then I said, it feels overwhelming when you're reading, you have to go through all these volumes of books.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
so I started I felt that taking out themes always interested me. Like,
That
so
was
I
really interesting. Yeah.
yeah, so and that also helped me research.
Yeah.
So it gave
Yes.
me something like a pre-meditative thing, and the point to which you were bringing that, you're already pre-meditating, and then
Mm-hmm.
you're like right there. So when
Mm-hmm.
I'm already like, last year when we did all the prayers of different great personalities whose lives, like one of them was Dhruva Maharaj over here that we're talking about. So when you're premeditating, we don't, oh my God, this one did this and this one did this, and they're glorifying someone in such a beautiful way. Then you try to form your own personality
True.
around your spiritual personality,
Hmm.
around what really resonates with you. Like,
Yes,
I listen to Radhanath Swami quite a bit, and no matter which verse he's talking about, his underlying theme of everything is Trinadapi Sunichena, you
that's
know,
true.
humility and
Tolerance.
tolerance, humility. It's just that's just been the underlying. So that's the personality someone has developed through
Hmm.
whatever. For someone else, if you hear, I've heard some other devotees. Some of them, there is service, very service oriented.
Yes, yes.
No matter which verse they take, they're because their purpose of spirituality, so they're manifesting through these verses.
That's good.
What
That's a very good point. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever they really wanted to achieve.
So
So
for me,
simply,
for this year, spiritually was holy names, like just focusing on holy names, improve my, my japa, my mantra meditation. And through the themes that you chalked out, like all the Gitas in Srimad Bhagavatam. Now I'm trying to do a comparative analysis and see what's the underlying mood with which Lord Shiva is praying to Vishnu, and how holy names, what can be my mood when I'm praying to the holy names, and so on and
oh,
so forth. We'll go on to different Gitas, but it's really very interesting to pick out
oh
themes from
yeah,
Srimad Bhagavatam.
that really makes our practice deep, rather than it being, just on the surface. When you start really like involving your mind, then your practice really, really goes deep. And I want to, when we're talking about the mind, this verse from Bhagavad Gita is just phenomenal, because this is from chapter 6
Mm-hmm.
and text 5. Chapter 6 is Dhyan Yoga. So over here it says, one must deliver himself with the help of his mind and not degrade himself. The mind is a friend of the conditioned soul and his enemy as well. So the whole point here about manifestation, it has the M in there, which is so connected to the mind. It's a mind game. You know, you're manifesting, you're visualizing, you're using the strength and the power of the mind
Uh-huh.
to achieve your goals, because only time is separating you from them.
Yes,
You've already achieved. Basically, you're saying when you're manifesting something, you're saying you've already achieved this, only time is separating you from
that's
this.
true.
That's
Yeah,
the power of the mind. And
yeah,
that's in our scriptures.
yes,
It's very much in Bhagavad Gita and Dhyan Yoga, where Krishna is saying that you can deliver yourself with the help of this mind. It is your greatest friend and it is your greatest enemy as well,
mm-hmm.
because the mind can play so many tricks. The mind is trying to convince you that, oh no, you're not good enough, or you can't achieve this enough. But if you, with a little bit of your intelligence, you control the mind and you train the mind, then it's like it's your greatest friend. Then no goal is not achievable.
That's true.
Everything becomes within your reach, which is something so beautiful over here. um, Srila Prabhupada mentions that for a man, mind is the cause of bondage, and mind is also the cause of liberation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very powerful. So mind is one of the key driver for manifesting our dreams, our goals.
And the very first point that you made, clarity.
Clarity. Yeah, yeah,
If your mind is not involved, you don't have clarity.
yeah. It's all up here. Like if you're clear or not, it's all. Uh,
Yeah.
yes.
And then even the second step, if your mind is not
Believing.
convinced, you
Yeah.
cannot sustain it.
Yes, yes. You have to believe, and believing doesn't mean that just for one day or one month. You have to believe, right? Really core belief. Like companies these days have, like our core beliefs is to impress the customers or whatever, but that is, yeah, it should be embedded in our consciousness, that is how deep it should be, that I truly believe that this will come true, and this, it's just a matter of time, like you said, it's just the time separating us. And
Right.
it's a very powerful point that I also was reading one thing from Srimad Bhagavatam. I wanted to share
Sure.
that Srimad Bhagavatam is this, literary masterpiece, and it's very, very well known for its poetic beauty, its depth of wisdom, and it has the ability and the power to really raise our consciousness to higher spiritual realm. So I was reading this, since we were talking about Brahma, I just remembered I was reading this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam where Brahma, who we said is the creator, he's the secondary creator, and it's his prayers to the primary creator, who's Lord Vishnu. He's praying. I'm just going to, the essence. I'm just going to paraphrase, and he's just saying that you, the supreme personality of Godhead, you God, in your full glory, uh, the the purpose behind material manifestation is to bring out your glory. So all these vast complexities of the material world, all the everything that the material world is created for, is not random, is not purposeless, but a deliberate manifestation of God's energy to reveal his glory and make us come, make us love him, make us come back to him, make us realize that we might be limited, but he is unlimited. And that's why we have to surrender. Like Dhruv Maharaj, he surrendered when he saw Lord Vishnu. He said, okay, I set out on this very passionate, made these overarching goals for myself. The actions, the beliefs were all in line. He achieved all of them, but at the end he also surrendered. He said that he believed that, uh, Lord, just achieving your love, serving you with devotion, is the goal of my life. And all the material world that we are in, all this world we are in, all these people, resources, are the things that we do, should serve as a platform for us. That this is what I got out from the verse, is to realize that, God is there to love us, Krishna is there to love us, and we just have to surrender. We just have to realize the higher purpose, recognize his divine presence. And like you said, we do Tulsi Aarti, we do Guru Ashtakam in the morning, even the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we're repeating that mantra so many times, 1728 times every day, at least minimum. And I was just thinking, what are we doing? It's not just a repetition of a powerful mantra. Yes, it's a mantra outside of this world, but it is also manifesting our a deeper relationship with Krishna. We are, by repeating the mantra, we are invoking his presence. We are invoking his, his mercy as well on us.
Yeah.
um, I think it's
And
strong.
mantra actually means, please engage me in your service.
Yeah, yeah,
So we're
yes.
asking, it's very goal oriented mantra actually. Like,
Yeah,
please engage me in your service
to
constantly.
the point. Yes.
Exactly. And yeah, just reading all the prayers last year
Mhm.
was fantastic because there is glorification in the prayers, but then at the same time, there is desire, and the desire not necessarily for things. The desire is for being continuously in your service, being continuously thinking about you, like even the Damodar Ashtakam that we sing, that I have no other desire, but I want that this beautiful form of Bal
Lord,
Gopal,
yeah.
you know be ever manifest within my heart.
Mm-hmm.
Or Sridhar Kulavecha from Chaitanya Charitamrita, he says that I don't have any other desire. All I desire is
Yeah.
that same Nimai comes and fights with me, bargains with me.
Yes, that's right.
Devotees have these wonderful desires.
Mm-hmm.
And when we're talking about manifestation, if you just Google the word manifestation in a Veda base,
Mm-hmm.
it comes like a zillion times because of the internal manifestation, the external manifestation, because
Yeah.
Krishna also manifests the
Yes.
material existence. He
Yes.
he sits there and he breathes in and out,
And
and he
material world is
manifests.
manifested. That's
And
true.
how beautifully. The acharyas have mentioned that our next lives,
Hmm.
uh, the quality of
Yeah.
not only our present life, like we
Hmm.
have some control, we have a free will. So
Yeah.
not only the quality of our present life is affected by manifestation, but
Hmm.
also how our mind is involved affects our next lives,
Yes. Yes.
along with our actions, of course. But it begins always in the mind.
Yes. Yes.
You got to have some thought process to go
Yes.
out and do something, right? So the mind is such a powerful tool, and manifestation is really an amazing reality. And it's a great tool, um, to not only use to achieve our goals, but I want to summarize, what you really pointed out in the beginning, the three-step process. Having clarity, secondly,
Belief.
taking baby steps
Yeah.
with belief
Yeah.
and consistency. And then third is to actually take action
Mm-hmm.
with um, achieving, and then be detached from the result. Because otherwise, you're going to be frustrated. Because if you keep stepping on the weighing scale every other day, you're going to feel, "Oh, I'm not losing weight." But if
That's
you be consistent, that's actually one of the 12 steps that they actually tell you to take when you're trying to lose weight. Don't weigh yourself every day.
Oh, really?
Because your weight is going to fluctuate because of the water, and you're going to be like, you know what, I
Discouraged.
didn't eat anything, and you're a bit discouraged.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
just surrender to the process,
Mm-hmm.
and then give it 6 months. And after 6 months, you're going to be blown away with what you have achieved
Mm-hmm.
in that process if you're consistent.
Mm-hmm.
That's really phenomenal. Um,
Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, you have the right to perform your prescribed duties, but you're not entitled to the fruits of your action. So I totally believe that, we cannot get too attached and hanker and lament for something that we don't have. Rather, just have our goals set out and then just take the appropriate steps, and then we can leave that up to the Lord's will and basically time when it'll manifest. And He
abs-
knows what's best for us.
yeah. I want to share, a really phenomenal tool that I've been using, and I hope we
Mm-hmm.
can have it as a download. So, it, many a times it's mentioned that anything that you do consistently for 21 days, it becomes a part of you. So there was a thing that I made, which I call the me that I want to be.
Okay. Wow.
It's just to be consistent. So basically, you're taking a day at a time. So I've got day one, day two, day three, day four, up until 21 days, and I've got four attempts on one
Mhm,
sheet.
mhm,
So suppose I'm going to just say that, okay, I'm going to get up in the morning and go for a run, or anything, any goal that I want to manifest.
mhm,
This is for the consistency part of our,
mhm,
the second step of what we're speaking about.
mhm.
So sometimes it's hard, okay, I'm going to do it, and then I'm not really tracking it. So
You
this is
don't
a
track.
very helpful tracking tool. Okay, I
Mhm,
went on Monday, I went on Tuesday, I went on day four, I went on day five, I went on day six, I went on day seven. Every time you can check that, have it visually somewhere for you.
mhm.
And if you don't do consistently for 21 days, don't be disheartened. Here's your next chance. Suppose you did for 15 days and you had a break. Then you go and you start again for the 21 days, and you be consistent. If you
Mhm,
fail again, you start again, and you
mhm.
do again, and you do again, and you'll be surprised what is done by the fourth attempt. But excuse me, but what's most surprising is that even though you were not being able to be consistent, the transformation that happens, even if you
In the
missed
process, yeah.
even if you missed a few days,
Mm,
because you stuck with doing this over and over, and you accepted yourself for failing and willing to get
yeah,
up again and trying again. Even
yeah.
if you just do that, the transformation that really happens is phenomenal.
Hmm.
You wouldn't have achieved that without having that sheet.
Amazing.
So I really call it the me that I want to be.
I like
And
that name. It's a very nice, nice.
yeah, I put
We
it
still
there because,
have
yeah, because this is me and this is what I want to be. So
yeah.
there is
But I also
this
want to track it every day. So yeah, that's great. And just the
account.
whole idea of checking it is also manifesting in little steps towards our main goals. So
Exactly. And you're taking a day at a time, which
true.
is a bite
Yeah,
size. You're
true.
not talking about a month, you're not talking about a year. You're just taking a day. Did I read today? Yes, let me
Mm-hmm.
check.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes it's like, did I run today? Because okay, I ran for 1 minute. Doesn't
Yeah,
matter, but I
yeah.
ran.
I did. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
just that consistency,
Yes. I
which I
think we
think
should
is very
have that.
powerful. It was so wonderful to have this conversation. I
It was
feel
very enlightening,
we
and I'm glad we are discussing this because
yeah,
it really helps read the scriptures, like you said, from a point of view of really absorbing ourselves, seeing which character of the Srimad Bhagavatam or our scriptures we identify with, and use it in our lives as well. Because we are in this day and age where we want to use these lessons we learned in our day-to-day life. So really, thank you so much for
thank
discussing
you.
manifestation and yeah,
I know.
thank you
Thank you
so
for
much.
this wonderful conversation. All right. I'll see you next time then.
Yes, definitely. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in at Spirit Talks.